वेलकम टू सिविल इंजीनियरिंग आईआईटी। आज हम एक एल्यूमिनियम मोनोलिथिक फॉर्मवर्क सिस्टम वेबिनार के लिए यहाँ पे जब मैं हुए थे, थोड़ा सा मेरे तरफ से स्टेशन था, लेकिन जो हमारे गेस्ट थे वो आ चुके हैं। सारंग आचार्य सर जो हमारे मेंटर रहने वाले हैं, तो मैं उनका वेलकम करता हूँ और थोड़ा सा इंस्टीट्यूट के बारे में मैं थोड़ा सा आपको ब्रीफ करना चाहूँगा। 5 मिनट का टाइम लगेगा, उसके बाद हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। तो हमारे जो कॉम्पिटिटिव मैन पावर है, में जो जरूरी है कॉम्पिटिटिव मैन पावर तरफ तरह ही हमने ऑब्जेक्टिव डिसाइड कर लिए है और वही एक मिशन भी बनाया है कि हम हर एक सिविल इंजीनियरिंग सेक्टर को उससे एक पार्ट आज हम फॉर्मवर्क सिस्टम भी ले रहे हैं कि फॉर्मवर्क है इंडिया में। तो ये फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसे प्रोग्राम हम इंडिया में ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं कि जो सर मेरा वही आवाज ज्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस रहेगा तो आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। हेलो,
हाँ बोलिए ना। सर गुड मॉर्निंग। हेलो, हेलो, ओके। तो जस्ट गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। एम आई ऑडिबल? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है सबको क्लियर? ओके, सो अ वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि विच लैंग्वेज वुड यू प्रेफर? इज इंग्लिश ओके? और किसी को भी अगर इंग्लिश से प्रॉब्लम है वी कैन स्विच टू हिंदी। तो वी हैव ऑप्शंस ऑफ हिंदी और इंग्लिश। सो अगर English will be better. Okay, someone is saying English will be better. All okay with English? I hope there's no one who's not okay with English, because किसी एक को भी प्रॉब्लम है तो we'll have to switch to Hindi. Okay, so I think English should not be a problem. So all of you are aware. Let's make it a little bit interactive, because I want to interact with you, want to know what are your views and what are you expecting out of this session and the webinar or the course, short-term course we are planning to do. Okay. So first of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you. I guess there are some 26 odd participants. So congratulate yourself, because being a Sunday morning, people prefer to sleep and lay around. But you have made it sure that you attend this session, and I'm sure that this is going to be a wonderful one. Okay, so congratulate yourself. A very warm good morning to all of you. Before we start, I'll introduce myself. My name is Sarang Acharya, and I have done my BE Civil Engineering from Government College of Engineering, Karad. Since then, I have been working in the construction field, and I would say I am lucky enough that from the day one when I entered this construction industry, I have been associated, or I have been working in the field of formwork. So most of you may or may not know what formwork is. We'll go ahead and learn what it is. But then, as I said, I'm lucky enough to have been associated or working in this field of formwork from day one, total of 16 years of experience. And still I'm trying to learn formwork, because formwork is a very vast field. Okay. So how much formwork we need to learn is whatever we have learned till now. That's the simple definition. Okay. Because it's a never ending process. It's a continual improvement process. So to go ahead with, let us first understand the construction industry. I'll just share a presentation with you. Okay. So first, let us understand the overall construction sector vis-a-vis construction sector in India. Okay. So you might have heard of Empire State Building in USA. Yeah. Some 100 odd floors high-rise structure. Yeah. Constructed in around 1930s. So just importance of telling you this is, till date in India, we have not reached that mark, or we are reaching that mark in 2020-21 of a 100-story structure. Okay. So now 1930s and 2020. So there's a huge difference in technology in terms of construction. You agree to this, right? In this entire session, if anyone feels that I'm not audible, or you're not able to hear me out, or any technical issues, please unmute yourself and talk. Okay. So in European countries, US countries will find a lot of high-rise structures, yeah, which we are yet to reach that mark, because we are lacking that much of time in the technology field of technology. Okay. So now let us see what is formwork. Can any one of you tell me, what do you mean? What do you think formwork is? Please make it interactive, and please feel free to discuss, to talk in this session, because it will be very important for you if we keep it an interactive session, because I'll keep on talking and you keep on listening. That would not make a sense. So what do you think formwork is? Any one of the participants? Yes? Okay. So basically, let's get to the basic terms. We have heard of shuttering. We have heard of formwork. Okay. Now, what is the basic difference? So shuttering, the definition is it's in its name itself. So making of the shutter, the placing of the shutter, and removing of the shutter after the concreting. This entire activity, we can call it as shuttering. Okay. Now, what is formwork? There's a big confusion in this. There are a lot of terms. Okay. But shutter, irrespective of what it is made of, maybe it's made of wood, maybe it's made of aluminium, steel. Yeah. So shutter supported by the supporting arrangement. Together, we'll call it as formwork. Okay. So basic terms, shuttering and formwork. Now, in today's world, if you go 10 years behind, okay, in construction industries, construction sector, or if you're new to this industry or you're still studying, you can just Google it. Past 10 years have been remarkable in the field of construction, especially in India. We have seen huge development in terms of formwork technologies. Okay. Now we'll understand first why there's a need of modular formwork. We have been doing conventional formwork right since beginning. So basically, let's get to the basics again. What is conventional and what is modular formwork? So conventional formwork is the type of formwork which we have been doing since ages with plywood, timber, bamboo, बल्ली, लकड़ा, plywood. इससे कंस्ट्रक्शन में काम होते हुए आप सबने देखा होगा, करेक्ट? बट अगर आप बड़े शहरों में जाओगे, पुणे, मुंबई, दिल्ली, कलकत्ता, so there's a huge difference in the type of construction works, right? So there's a demand of the market that we move from conventional to modular. So what is the basic need? We'll get to understand what is the basic need that we need to move to modular formwork. So basically, all these modular formwork technologies have come from US or Europe in India, okay, in past 10-15 years. Now, why they were developed, why they had to develop in formwork technology? Because of less manpower. Manpower नहीं मिलता है, तो definitely there is a need that we search out for some technology जिसमें कम से कम लोगों में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा और अच्छा काम हो पाए. Correct? So there was a need in European sector, construction sector, that they moved to the modular formwork. But now, why in India? हमको क्यों नहीं जरूरत पड़ा? Because we had ample of manpower, right? लोगों की कुछ कमी नहीं है, तो लोग आसानी से मिल जाते थे, वर्कर्स आसानी से मिल जाते थे, कारपेंटर स्किल्ड मिलते थे. बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम देयर इज अ ह्यूज स्कार्सिटी ऑफ लेबर्स, yeah, and plus the skill level of carpenters have also gone down over a period of time. So basically all the sites which are running on conventional formwork have to be dependent on carpenters skill levels. एक अच्छा कारपेंटर है, वो अच्छा शटर बनाएगा, तो आगे का पूरा काम जो है सीक्वेंशियल वर्क्स वो अच्छे से लगेगा, इजीली लगेगा, लगाने के लिए कम टाइम लगेगा, कंक्रीटिंग होने के बाद स्लरी लीकेज नहीं होगा, तो अल्टीमेटली क्वालिटी का टाइम बचेगा एंड क्वालिटी का कॉस्ट बचेगा, राइट? बट एक गलत शटर 5 mm से भी अगर शटर गलत हो जाता है या 90 डिग्री में नहीं बनता है, सो व्हेन वी प्लेस इट टुगेदर अलाइनमेंट में प्रॉब्लम होता है, डबल टाइम जाता है अलाइनमेंट में, कंक्रीटिंग होने के बाद स्लरी लीकेज के बहुत चांसेस होते हैं, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ एंटायर डैमेज एज वेल. सो अगेन दिस चिपिंग कॉस्ट, रीवर्किंग कॉस्ट, रिप्लास्टरिंग कॉस्ट, रिमूविंग द हनी कोम्बिंग, सो ईच एंड एवरी एक्टिविटी इन द कंस्ट्रक्शन इज लिंक्ड विद इकोनॉमी. हर एक चीज के लिए पैसा लगता है, राइट? सो ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड अ ह्यूज स्किल गैप इन टर्म्स ऑफ कारपेंटर स्किल्स. So there is a need which Indian market felt that this is the time we need to move to modular formwork. And past 10-15 years have been remarkable in terms of formwork development in India. So basically, if we look at the basic point of view, okay, एक construction मतलब होता क्या है? Let's say I am a contractor, okay? I am constructing a building for my client. So what are the most basic needs for a contractor, for any industry for that matter? There has to be some product, okay, which needs to be sold to generate revenue. Am I right? So basically a hammam company is selling of soaps, someone is selling oil, someone is selling vegetables to generate the revenue. So, and as a contractor, have you ever thought what I will be selling to generate the revenue? Okay? Someone says in my other session, someone says a contractor sells concrete, okay? But then if a contractor sells concrete, what does a RMC plant do, right? Someone says contractor sells buildings. So I would say if a contractor sells building, then what does a builder do? Yeah. So basically, in a simple terms, if you see, I am a contractor. What do I sell is, I sell concrete, but wherever the client has told me to, whatever shape he has told me to, whatever quality he has told me to, and whatever time he has given me. So 4 basic parameters is, जहां पे क्लाइंट ने बताया मुझे यहाँ पे बिल्डिंग खड़ा करना है, एज पर ड्राइंग यहाँ पे कॉलम होना चाहिए तो वहीं पे कॉलम होना चाहिए, करेक्ट? Second thing, if a client has told me I want a rough finish, I have to give him rough finish. Client says I want a fair finish, a mirror finish, I have to give him mirror finish. Whatever shape the client has told me, If there's a circular column, I need to build a circular column. If there's a rectangular column, I need to build a rectangular column, right? And fourth and most important thing is the time. If my client has told me I want the construction of this entire building to be completed in 12 months, I have to complete it in 12 months. So if you analyze all these 4 parameters, Formwork plays the most important role in all this. What are the 4 parameters? We'll again repeat. Client ने बताया हुए जगह पे, so unless and until I place my shutter on that particular location with the dimensions or the survey points, I won't be able to construct the column at that particular location. So again, formwork is involved, and unless and until you place the formwork correctly, you won't get the desired shape. If there's a rectangular column, I need to place a flat shutters. If there's a circular column, I need to place a circular shutters, right? So that role is also taken care by formwork. Third is quality. Okay, if client has told me I want a fair finish, okay, I want a mirror finish, so I need to construct, I need to build my formwork such a way that the client's quality parameters are met. Client wants a rough finish, I need to give a rough finish. Okay, and fourth one is time. So it is only and only formwork which will guide your project duration. Because if there's a 12-story building, you need to you need to complete the RCC work in, let's say, 6 months. So there straight away we have a simple calculation that I have a 15 days of cycle time. Every 15 days I need to construct the slab. Based on that, we need to decide a system, right? Just now we were talking about the quality. Client says I want a rough finish. So based on that, I just tell you a simple story. Okay, there's this director who was directing a film. Okay, and in middle of the shoot, he calls a spot boy and says, go and get the, a glass from the market. Glass in the sense, a mirror kind of glass. The spot boy is, very excited about this. He takes the money from the director and he searches entire market. Okay. He thinks that director has given me some job, I'll do it to the perfection. Yeah. So that he gets impressed and maybe I get some promotion. So he moves around the entire market. He searches for the best glass and he brings the best, costliest and the strongest glass available in the market. And within he is very happy that, okay, I did a very good job. And he goes to the director and gives the glass to the director and says, so this is the best glass I found in the entire market. I roamed around for 8 odd hours and I found this best glass. This is the strongest glass. When the director looks at the glass, he slaps the spot boy. Okay. He says, this glass is useless for me because when my hero of the movie will punch on this, will it break? No. So my requirement is a simple glass on which if my hero punches, it should break. So, now you understand the quality depends on the client. Quality varies from person to person. If client wants, in this scenario, a director, a simple breakable glass was the best quality glass. Whereas if you are moving in some construction sector, the glass quality would be different. So moral behind telling you the story was, it is ultimately the project requirement that governs the all the things in the project, right? So now we understand the importance of formwork. Okay, just we'll just go a little bit. Can everyone mute? Okay. So we have witnessed a huge revolution in terms of construction industry, construction market in past 10-15 years. Yeah, 2008, 2009 was little slack down period, but then again the market is up and we have been doing really good. So basically we were talking about why there is a need of modular formwork in India, which was not earlier. So why we got into modular formwork technology lately in India. The reasons which we discussed was the scarcity of laborers, scarcity of skill level of carpenters, and third, the most important thing is time of construction. So nowadays, see, everyone is now aware, every builder is now aware that if a project which is supposed to be completed or can be completed in, let's say, 2 years, but everyone is looking after is how we can do that 2 years project in maybe 18 months. Because even if you have to put in some extra cost in terms of formwork or some developments in concrete or steel, the overhead charges of per day overhead charges of running a site is huge than putting up some additional cost in assets. Okay. So everyone wants a faster construction. When it comes to faster construction without compromising safety, right? Because if you're doing a faster construction, it doesn't mean that we neglect the safety part. So there was a need of implementing modular formwork, right? What is the basic difference? In conventional, we bring plywood timber, we make the shutters on site, right? So there's a making time involved. There's a additional labor involved for making the shutters. And most importantly, we have to be dependent on the carpenter skill level, correct? So instead of that, conventional and modular. Conventional is what we make on site, whatever shutters we make on site. Modular is whatever we get it from factory, directly made in factory and installed on site. So that's the basic difference in conventional and modular, right? So vis-a-vis in modular formwork, we just get the modular formwork panels, yeah, from the factory. So there's a high precision level. So we save on making time, shutter making time. We save on that much of labor. We save on labor in terms of installation, because it's a very simple modular formwork, very simple. It's all predefined. If you look at the systems, panels have the specific holes for tie rods. You don't have to apply your brain, just insert the tie rods from the pre-defined tie rod holes. So basically we either save on manpower or we save on time, or in lesser material, we complete the project on time. Yeah. So basically we'll just run through. Due to continuous urbanization, there's a huge boom from infra projects. You might have seen a lot of infra projects, a lot of road works going on. So that is definitely going to increase the real estate sector as well. So industry employs more than 40 million people and has a large pool of low cost workers, right? And you might be aware of a lot of government projects or government programs like smart cities, housing for all, make in India. So that is also definitely going to increase the employment, increase the overall construction industry. So it's not only construction industry, but there are a lot of other industries which are linked to construction industry, like cement industry, steel industry. Yeah. So it's just an overall picture. There are a lot of foreign investments which are involved, which we call public-private partnerships, PPP models. Yeah. Like I was just talking, there are 250 other industries such as steel, brake, cement, construction material, which depends on construction industry. After China, India is the second largest manufacturer of cement. Yeah. And the way the population is growing, there's a huge demand of housing each year. So housing demands agar fulfill karni hai, so definitely we can't go in that slow pace of conventional formwork. Okay. just a graphical representation of the rise or the growth of construction sector from 2010 to 2020. So 2010 to 2015, it was 2.95 growth rate, whereas 2000 next 5 years is almost doubled. And this is going to keep on increasing. So if you look at the graph on the right hand side, this is a 2016 graph, but the ratio or the proportion almost remains the same. Now we all know that the real estate sector has hit badly due to this COVID pandemic, but then it's not going to last too long because the requirement is going to increase. Vis-a-vis, I would say that once the market picks up, it will pick up in the double speed because everyone has to cover up the losses or the slowdown which occurred due to pandemic. So there is going to be a huge need of faster slab cycles, the quicker constructions, okay? And quicker the construction, we don't have any other option than to go with best of the technologies in the market to match up the speed. So what are the growth drivers? What will define the growth? Okay, population growth, urbanization, industrialization, and rise in disposable income are the key growth of the industry. India is expected to be the third largest construction market by 2025. 100% FDI under the automatic route is allowed in the construction development sector. There have been a lot of changes in the government policies with terms of as far as construction sector is concerned. Government has made tremendous efforts to improve residential and transport infrastructure. So you might have heard of lot of mass housing projects which government has come up with. Yeah? So we'll in further slides we'll know or we'll understand how we are going to cater, how India as a construction sector in India is going to cater these future needs. Investments valued around 965 million US dollars are expected to be required by the infrastructure sector by 2040, and development of 100 smart cities by 2020 was the targeted. We have to get the figures. Construction industry shares 7.3% gross value. Industry gross value added share accounts for 7.3% in financial year 18. So these are these stats. I would go in much of the details, but this is to make you understand how the market is growing, how the construction sector is expected to grow. So we discussed the role of formwork already, right? So if you look at the statistics for in certain projects, the cost of formwork even can go around 40 to 50% of the total project cost. If you're looking at the high-rise buildings, okay, or there are fair finish projects. See, basically, I'm not aware of the exact attendees, the background of the attendees. So I don't know what are the basic. For someone, what I'm talking might already they might be knowing all this. Someone might not have ever heard of all these terms. So I'm just making a balance. So if someone is feeling that we can skip this and we know we've heard of this, so let's not go into that details. So you can interrupt, you can unmute and talk. Okay. So basically, we already discussed the role of formwork in the construction industry. So the need of today is the faster construction cycle, which is majorly governed by formwork systems we are going to use or we are going to use on that project. Now, I would like to understand if anyone wants to speak out. What do you know about monolithic type of construction? Yeah, please. You can unmute and talk straight away. No need to raise the hands. Yeah, HP. You can unmute and say, what do you know about monolithic type of construction? Anyone?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, monolithic is that type of structure in which all the beams, columns, slab, as well as the walls are cast all in one simultaneously.
Perfect. So everyone now knows. See, conventional type of construction. How was it? First, we construct the columns or walls together. Then we construct the slab and beam. But in monolithic type of construction, what we do is we cast columns, walls, slabs, beams all together. That's the reason it is called a monolithic type of construction. So when we talk of monolithic type of construction, what is the need? What is the need of monolithic type of construction? Because to reduce the cycle time for a faster slab cycle. Okay. So if we want a faster slab cycle, as we discussed, we need to go for some modular technology which can cater in the lesser material, we can cater that required slab cycle. So this is the best type of construction which can give us the faster slab cycle. So now monolithic type of construction we know now is we cast wall, columns, beams, slabs all together. Okay. So whenever we talk of monolithic type of construction, immediate one thing that comes in everyone's mind who are already associated with the construction industry is MyOne. Everyone will immediately say MyOne. But let me tell you, MyOne is the name of a company who initially developed. Can everyone mute, please? Okay. So MyOne was the company who initially developed and brought the system in India. MyOne is a Malaysian Formwork company. So most of the people who are already associated with the construction sector might know this. But then, technically speaking, the name of this construction type is monolithic construction. The system, if we are using aluminium, we call it aluminium monolithic formwork. Simple. So aluminium monolithic formwork was first developed by W.J. Maloney, a Canadian engineer in late 1970s. And it formed a major part of the development of the construction sector there. And then the technology moved in Asian countries, started from Malaysia. So company called MyOne started it in India. And there are numerous players, numerous manufacturers now in India also who develop this systems, and they're supplying successfully in India and abroad as well. Okay. So this type of construction, if you're using an aluminium system, we call it aluminium monolithic formwork. There is another system which is called tunnel formwork. Yeah, same type of construction, but there are differences in the system. We'll discuss that. But we are here to basically discuss about the aluminium monolithic type of construction. Okay. So this technology has been used extensively in countries such as Europe, Gulf countries, Asia, and all parts of the world. This technology is suitable for constructing large number of houses within short time, as we discussed. This is majorly used in cast in situ concrete. So now, why aluminium? What are the advantages, and why entire construction industry is moving into this particular type of construction? So this is one of the systems wherein before starting a project or even before preparing a structural layout or architectural layout, this system is thought of and the layout is made accordingly. Because when we are talking of monolithic type of construction, Majorly, the basic difference is instead of column beam structure, there's a wall slab structure. Majorly, there are structural walls or non-structural walls resting on the beams and slabs. So basically, there's a little bit change required in the structural layout. Second thing is, more the typical structure it will be, more economical it will be. So we'll understand that. So basically, why the system is, this is made up of aluminium. Okay, aluminium panels. So entire thing we can also call it a tailor-made formwork. So जैसे हम लोग टेलर के पास जाते हैं, we कपड़ा लेके we just give our measurements and he stitches the clothes for us and gives it to us. Likewise, in this type of formwork, we provide the structural drawings to the supplier. He prepares a shell plan, and then after the proposal is finalized, he prepares or he manufactures the tailor-made formwork for entire slabs, columns, beams, and that is supplied. Okay, so made up of aluminium. Time for 100% work, construction through slab, beam, wall construction takes, let's say, 1 month. So this takes 6 to 7 days. Okay, so it's a very faster construction method. Can anyone tell what is the deshuttering time of slab as per IS codes? Anyone? So it's 7 days and 14 days, right? Depending upon the span of the slab. But in this case, when we are talking about, yeah, Ajay, you want to speak something? Mr. Ajay? Okay, so let's move on. So as per IS code, we know the deshuttering time of 7 days and 14 days as per the span. But then how can we talk of a 7-day or 6-day slab cycle then? So with this method, with this construction type, it also comes with drop head mechanism, or drop head mechanism in the sense the props for the slab are left as it is and the panels are removed and moved to the next level. So that's the reason there's a difference between repropping and undisturbed support. Okay, repropping is removing the props and propping it again. But if the slab has not gained that strength, and if you remove the prop, if there's a sagging, we cannot push it back with repropping. So there's a basic difference between repropping and undisturbed support. So what we are talking here is, we are not disturbing the props. We are not disturbing the main supports of the slab. We are just removing the panels and moving it to the next level with additional set of props. So being aluminium, it's a lightweight system. So it's very easy to move around and it's fast. If anyone has any queries, you don't need to raise your hands. You can unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yes,
Sir, how can we remove the props without removing the shuttering?
Yes, we will see that in other video. I'll show you a small video. Okay. In that, you'll be clear with how it is done. Yeah. So first is, being aluminium, it's lightweight, so it's easy to handle, it's easy to move and faster. Okay. Time, again, being lightweight, it again turns into higher productivity. Environment friendly, because there's no use of timber, plywood, which can harm the environment. Labors, being a very simple system, we can work out with lesser numbers of skilled laborers and most of the unskilled people. Being aluminium and completely designed as per the building layout, we can have lots of repetitions. See, the general claim of these suppliers is 150 to 200 repetitions. But then somewhere around 90 to 100 is ideally which is achieved, and it's not bad as in terms of economy. Okay, and most importantly, the scrap value. If you're talking about MS, so we have a scrap value around 20-22 rupees per kg, whereas aluminium varies around 100 to 120 rupees a kg as a scrap value. Okay, so now when we are talking about economy, okay, so economy is a very wide term which is being used. So when we talk about economy, let's say आप कोई phone लेने गए हो, okay, there's one phone which is costing around 10,000, another phone which is costing around 20,000. But then if you're looking only at the purchase cost, this phone of 10,000 is cheaper. If you're only talking about the purchase cost. Likewise, अगर हम लोग conventional और modular formwork की बात कर रहे हैं, तो conventional will be cheaper while purchase. So 10,000 का phone है, that is cheaper in terms of initial purchase value. But 20,000 का phone में you get lot of additional features which is going to save your lot of time in lot of activities. Okay, so ultimately your time is also converted into money. If you are doing a comparison, it has to be an apple to apple comparison. So if you're talking about conventional and modular, conventional, yes, the initial purchase cost is less. Okay, but then what we need to add to it is site पे जब material आता है plywood timber, there's a making cost involved. There are people involved in making. Yeah, there's a time involved in making of that, and a plywood shutter gives somewhere around 8 to 10 repetitions, right? So after every 8 to 10 repetitions, there's again remaking, time and manpower involved. So on site, each and every activity is converted into ultimately the money. So when we are comparing, let's say a conventional system is costing purchase cost somewhere around 3,500 rupees. Okay, and it gives you 10 repetitions. So it's costing you around 350 rupees. And vis-a-vis, we are talking about a modular formwork which is costing you around 7,000 rupees to 8,000 rupees per square meter, which is giving you 100 repetitions. So that comes to 70 rupees. Again, in this, there are a lot of things which we have still not covered. In conventional, we are depending upon the skill level, whereas in modular, we are not dependent upon carpenter skill level. So making time, productivity, there are a lot of other things which need to be compared when we are talking about the economy, right? This system, when we are talking about conventional modular, conventional is 100% consumed on site. Whereas when you're talking about modular aluminium monolithic formwork, we can complete one project. We can use the same system for the next project. General ratio thumb rule would be depending upon layout, but 70%, 60 to 70% panels, standard panels, we can use it as it is for the next project. 30-40% non-standard panels may need modification or some amount of new material need to be purchased. But then when we are talking about such large scale, we can use this entire material for the next project. So that comes under asset category. It forms a company asset. Whereas when we are talking about conventional, it is consumed on site. Okay. So we discussed all this already. Now, when we are talking about the slab cycle of 7 to 8 days. So day 1 wall reinforcement, day 2 wall reinforcement, day 3 formwork erection, day 4 formwork erection, beam and slab reinforcement. Formwork erection here means slab, column, wall, beam, everything. Day 5 reinforcement, day 6 reinforcement and conduiting, electrical conduiting, electrical work and overall checking, and day 8 can be pouring. Okay, so this is a simple slab cycle which is easily achieved in India. Most of the projects are going ahead with this cycle of 7 to 8 days, a maximum 10 days on an average. So this is the advantage of aluminium monolithic formwork in particular. Now we were talking about the comparison just sometimes back. So we'll continue with that. Quality of work. Conventional formwork can also give good quality of work, provided we have a very good skilled carpenter level, carpenter staff. Time taken for installation in aluminium it's less because, as we discussed, it's a lightweight system. Supervision required is less because yes, initial setting time will be more. एक महीना लगता है first slab setup करने के लिए, but then once you are well versed with the panels, the next slabs onwards, we can. I'm sorry. Next slab onwards, the cycle is really fast. Initial cost more, plastering not required, conventional is required. So this is a basic comparison which we, most of the points we discussed already. So this is some photographs of aluminium monolithic formwork, जहाँ पे slab, beam, columns, walls, everything is casted in a monolithic way. So basically all type of shapes can be catered in this. Yeah. So before we go in with this, I'll just would like to show you some most important thing, a video, not of modular aluminium formwork, but just to give you a gist of how much advanced the construction technology has been, okay, and what is the skill gap. See, just to brief you, I was working, and as I told, 15-16 years I have been in this field of formwork. I was working for several branded companies like Shapoorji, JMC, Vascon Engineers, and I worked for some international formwork supplier companies like Alsina and Meva. Okay, but that one thing, now I've started my own firm called Formwell. Okay, motive of starting my own firm is to bridge the skill gap in the syllabus and the construction industry. Believe me, there is a skill gap of nearly 50 years. There are almost, we can find only 5 to 10% of the actual construction industry which has been taught in the syllabus. Yeah. Just to give you a gist of what I'm talking, I'll just show you a video wherein you'll get an overall picture of how vast this construction sector is and where we stand as of now in terms of knowledge. So if we have to move ahead, or if we have to match the pace of the construction sector, what today it is, from engineering level, you have to make a big leap to reach to that level. Believe me, when I was working, it took me almost 2 years to find one formwork engineer, and still I was not able to find a formwork engineer. Okay, when I'm talking of formwork engineer, I was expecting a basic knowledge of formwork, which I was not able to find in the market. So in one hand, we have students passing out every year and remaining jobless due to this current situation of market. And the other hand, there are a lot of positions in the market related to formwork which are not being filled due to lack of that skill level. So basic motive of Formwell in association with CEIIT is to develop the bridge the skill gap between the engineering students and the current market sector. So this video will give you a gist of how big this sector is becoming and how vast, or how much big leap we need to take to match up the company standards. Another thing, the major risk in civil engineering is the modular formwork, which we are moving into nowadays. Few years down the line, there will be very less projects, or there will be no projects going on with the conventional formwork. Everyone has to move in some of the other modular formwork systems. Yeah, and if we look at the modular formwork, there is more need of a mechanical engineer than a civil engineer. So the video which you're going to see, you'll understand that most of the part is mechanized. So civil engineer jobs, as far as formwork is concerned, most of the civil engineers jobs are even currently taken up by mechanical engineers. So you need to be equipped, or I would not say one step, 10 step ahead to match up the standards and to do something big. Can you see this video? Is this video visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this video might have given you a brief idea in what scale or how huge the construction sector is, and the role of formwork, how the formwork plays a most important part in this. So now this session being specifically for aluminium monolithic formwork. For those who have never seen what aluminium monolithic formwork is, so we'll see a video of how this construction type is.
Promise. Promise. इसके बाद हाँ
क्या क्या
कुछ तो करेंगे,
कुछ तो नहीं, क्या करें?
जो तो बोल।
Can everyone mute, please? Is the video visible? Yes.
Yeah. But there is no audio to it. So can you play audio, because it helps us to understand the audio?
I'm just playing the video. If you're not able to listen to the audio, just let me know.
Sure. So there is no audio.
Just a minute. I'll just have to check. How does it play? Because the audio is playing at my end. I don't know. No one is able to hear the audio.
So you need to select computer screen as a audio settings in Zoom or media.
Okay, just a minute.
There is no audio.
Anyways, this video, as it is, there's just a music. There's no information in it.
Sure, sure.
Yeah? So before we go ahead with this video, I would just like to tell you the brief. We are watching this video of aluminium monolithic formwork, the type of construction we were just discussing. Monolithic type with aluminium panel formwork. Aluminium monolithic, we call it. The tailor-made system which is developed, which is supplied by the supplier as per the structural layout of the project. Okay, and this is the construction type, how it is erected, and what are the features we'll see in the video. Someone had this query just now. How can we remove panels without disturbing props? So you can have a look at this particular thing. So now you know this construction type, aluminium monolithic formwork. So I would like to inform you that, as I said earlier, we have started a firm called Formwell, okay, which provides formwork solutions right from tendering till project completion, which includes trainings, which includes formwork designing, which includes formwork drawings, on-site supports, any other technical assistance required on the sites. So it's a huge subject. But most importantly, we have a separate cell which is targeting, which is concentrating on training the engineering students or the site staff and groom them to a very high level and match the required construction industry skill levels. Okay. So we are coming up with a lot of projects, a lot of training programs in association with CEIIT. Mr. Munde will explain you in detail about the upcoming projects, upcoming sessions. But most importantly, we thought of aluminium monolithic formwork to start with, because this is the most important system which everyone needs to know, as most of the projects, wherever you go, you'll find this technology being used. And in this session, we just saw an overview of this aluminium formwork system. But in the aluminium formwork course, which is of 2 weeks duration, we'll go in detail of each and everything. We'll understand what each and every component is called. We'll understand how it is made, what is the specification of all those components, what is the application area, why that particular component is required in the system. Okay, how do we achieve a cycle time? What are the safety parameters? What are the do's and don'ts? How do we increase the productivity? How do we maintain that cycle time? Right from planning stage or before starting of the project, how we need to select the system, what is the quantum of the system to be implemented on the project. So we'll go in each and every minute detail, including the manufacturing type. Manufacturing details, how the system is manufactured. Okay, so further I give it to Munde sir to brief everyone about our program.
Yes sir, thank you sir, थैंक यू। बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपने सब एक नई टेक्नोलॉजी सबके सामने लेकर आए हैं हम लोग, और आपका मैं थैंक यू कहता हूं, क्योंकि एक करियर का एक बहुत बड़ा आपने आयाम चुना है, ऐसे मैं कहना चाहूँगा। एक 16 इयर्स एक डिज़ाइनर, एज अ डिज़ाइनर अच्छे जैसे JMC ऐसे बड़े बड़े कंपनियों के साथ आपने अल्सिना जैसे कंपनियों में जॉब करने के बाद एक खुद का कंसल्टेंसी फर्म और एक ट्रेनिंग फील्ड में आना, और जो एक डिवाइन मोटिव है कि सभी को ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करना, तो वो मोटिव से आप अच्छे प्रेरित हुए और ये कोर्स हम लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। तो सबके लिए एक अनाउंसमेंट है कि हम ये मोनोलिथिक एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क ये सिस्टम हम सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स लेके आ रहे हैं। जस्ट अ मिनट है। यस, तो ये एल्यूमिनियम मोनोलिथिक फॉर्मवर्क सिस्टम, मेरा स्क्रीन विजिबल है सभी को? हेलो?
हाँ हाँ विजिबल है।
यस, ये एल्यूमिनियम मोनोलिथिक फॉर्मवर्क सिस्टम, इसमें हम ये 2 वीक्स का हम प्रोग्राम रख रहे हैं। मंडे टू फ्राइडे ये सेशंस रहेंगे, 7 PM to 9 PM रहेंगे, जिसका फीस एक्चुअली 10,000 हमने प्लान किया है, लेकिन लॉकडाउन और अभी सिचुएशन देख के हमने इसको 50% फ्लैट ऑफ कर रहे हैं। वो भी आज शाम तक ही रहेगा। आज शाम तक जो बुकिंग करेंगे, एनरोलमेंट करेंगे 1000 रुपीज लेके, उनके लिए 50% ऑफ रहेगा, 5000 रुपीज फी रहेगी। 2 वीक का प्रोग्राम रहेगा ये पूरा, जो सर्टिफाइड रहेगा। जिनको एक एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क में आना है या टनल फॉर्मवर्क में, मोनोलिथिक मतलब कौन सा भी फॉर्मवर्क, तो उसमें हमने टनल भी थोड़ा सा इंक्लूड कर दिया है। तो जिनको ये एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क, जो पुणे में बहुत सारे केसेस पे, बॉम्बे में सभी जगह पे जो प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के जो प्रोजेक्ट्स है, सभी जगह पे ये एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क यूज किया जाता है मैक्सिमम प्रोजेक्ट्स पे। तो इसका आपको एक इंट्रोडक्शन मिल जाएगा और आप वो एक करियर ऑप्शन भी देख सकते हैं। या हमारे कुछ नए प्रोग्राम्स भी आ रहे हैं, तो हम नेक्स्ट सेशन में वो अनाउंस कर देंगे कि हम 6 मंथ की इंटर्नशिप भी लेके आ रहे हैं, पूरा ये फॉर्मवर्क डिजाइनिंग में। एक आप करियर मतलब जो हम कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, एज अ प्लानिंग इंजीनियर, एज अ बिलिंग इंजीनियर, एज अ स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर, जैसे हम एक करियर का ऑप्शन देखते हैं, वैसे फॉर्मवर्क डिजाइनर भी एक हम करियर का ऑप्शन देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये अनटच फील्ड है। और अगर ये भी आप करते हैं तो आपको ये बेनिफिशियल हो जाएगा एक एज, कॉम्पिटिटिव एज देने के लिए। ठीक है, तो वो कैसे होगा वो हम प्रोग्राम में डिसाइड कर लेंगे। ये जो प्रोग्राम रहने वाला है ये ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन दोनों मोड में रहेगा। मेजरली ऑफलाइन है जो पुणे में होगा, लेकिन जिनको पॉसिबल नहीं है वो ऑनलाइन भी ये ऑप्ट कर सकते हैं। ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन दोनों मोड में रहने वाला है। 11 जनवरी से हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं इसको, और इसका बुकिंग अपना जो इंटर्नशिप ऐप है उसके ऊपर से करना है। मैंने चैट बॉक्स में व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप का लिंक भी शेयर कर दिया था, तो वो वहाँ से आप ज्वाइन हो सकते हैं, ग्रुप को ज्वाइन हो जाइए। हमारे तरफ से आपको कल कॉल आ जाएगा। ये कोर्स कंटेंट है, इसका भी एक स्क्रीनशॉट आप ले लीजिए, चाहे तो मैंने वैसे चैट बॉक्स में भी कंटेंट शेयर किया था। तो एक कंटेंट है ये, जो सेफ्टी के साथ साथ सभी चीज़ें हमने इसमें इंक्लूड की है, मतलब एडवांटेजेस, डिसएडवांटेजेस, एप्लीकेशन एरियाज है, लिमिटेशंस है, टिपिकल स्लैब साइकिल की स्टडी है, जो मेरे ख्याल से सर ने सभी पूरा एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है। प्लानिंग एंड सेटअप है, असेंबली है, एमईपी वर्क्स है। तो ये एमईपी वगैरह सभी साथ में होता है इसमें, तो वो भी हमने इसमें इंक्लूड कर दिया है, क्योंकि वो एक पार्ट ही है शटरिंग का। और उसके साथ साथ डज एंड डोंट्स है, और एक साइट विजिट भी हम ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं। 1 डे का एक साइट विजिट भी रहेगा इसमें, 2 वीक्स के इसमें, जो हम एक एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क के साइट को विजिट कर लेंगे। ठीक है, तो ये कंटेंट है। सारंग सर ही रहने वाले हैं सभी मेंटर इसके लिए। तो मैं, आपके कुछ डाउट्स रहेंगे, क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन रहेंगे, तो हम, मेरे ख्याल से हम यहाँ पे स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। आप खुद को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं, अगर कुछ आपके क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे तो आप पूछ सकते हैं इसके बारे में।
मिस्टर पाटिल रेज्ड हिज हैंड। पाटिल कुछ बोलना होगा तो आप सीधा अनम्यूट करके पूछिए।
यस, अभी आप अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं। मैं चैट बॉक्स में फिर से और एक बार व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप का लिंक डाल देता हूँ, वहां पे मैं ब्रोशर और बाकी जो चीजें हैं वो फिर से पोस्ट कर दूंगा।
मिस्टर विक्रम सिंह का कुछ सवाल था। scope of formwork in tier 2 and tier 3 cities in recent coming times, and are there government contracts for the same provision? See, formwork का scope तो हर एक project में है ही. There's undoubtedly we have to rely on formwork. Only thing is अभी tier 1 cities में aluminium formwork, monolithic formwork has already taken over. सभी cities में already most of the projects, I would say 70%, if we say 70% of the real estate sectors is done with the aluminium formwork. That won't be a lie. Tier 2, tier 3 cities में अभी already वो 30% पे होगा, तो in coming times definitely it is going to increase, क्योंकि there is no option than to go with modular technology, और ये faster cycles के लिए सबसे best option है. तो जनरली मास हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स जो हैं, जिसमें टिपिकल होता है बिल्डिंग्स, जहां पे ये सिस्टम बेस्ट सूटेड होता है और कम टाइम में ज्यादा काम करना है, तो ऑलरेडी ऑल गवर्नमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स आर बीइंग डन विद एल्यूमिनियम और टनल फॉर्मवर्क. तो हम लोग जो हमारा सेशन है उसमें टनल फॉर्मवर्क भी कवर करने वाले हैं.
सर मेरे ख्याल से प्रियंका ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था शायद कि डिफरेंस बिटवीन एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क एंड टनल फॉर्मवर्क, ये एड्रेस कर दिया था क्या?
नहीं, सॉरी. हाय मिस प्रियंका, रादर एवरीवन, बेसिक डिफरेंस क्या है मैं बताता हूँ. एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क में सिस्टम जो बना है वो एल्यूमिनियम का है, प्लस वो टेलर मेड सिस्टम है. जो पैनल्स, स्टैंडर्ड पैनल्स और नॉन स्टैंडर्ड पैनल्स का कॉम्बिनेशन है, और ये मैनुअल एप्लीकेशन है. ये हर एक चीज मैनुअली हम लोग इरेक्ट करते हैं. वेरस टनल फॉर्मवर्क में बनता है पूरा स्टील का. 2 एल शेप का एक रूम साइज है, 2 एल शेप के पैनल्स बनते हैं, और वो क्रेन से उठा के नेक्स्ट लेवल पे रखा जाता है. इन इंडिया, बिलीव इट और नॉट, L&T has already achieved a slab cycle of 48 hours. हर 48 घंटे में एक slab. Can you imagine? With this tunnel formwork system. So we'll be covering that, and if required, I'll just show you a picture. ओके, मेरा स्क्रीन विजिबल है क्या?
नहीं सर.
Okay.
यस.
अभी
यस सर, अभी हो रहा है.
सो दिस इज जो आपको स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा है, ये टनल फॉर्मवर्क है. दिस इज मेड अप ऑफ स्टील कंप्लीटली, और दोनों में डिफरेंस ये है कि एक स्टील से बना है, एक एल्यूमिनियम से बना है. एक कंप्लीटली मैनुअल है, एक कंप्लीटली क्रेन असिस्टेड है. ये बिना क्रेन का काम नहीं कर सकता है. दिस सिस्टम नीड्स अ क्रेन फॉर एंटायर ऑपरेशंस. ठीक है, तो हर एक सिस्टम का अपना अपना प्रोज एंड कॉन्स है, दैट विल स्टडी इन डिटेल. एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस? यस.
ठीक है, मेरे ख्याल से सर क्वेश्चंस नहीं है किसी के, तो फिर हम करते हैं. सभी जिनको इंटरेस्टेड है, ये फॉर्मवर्क टेक्नोलॉजी में बहुत लोगों ने ज्वाइन भी कर दिया है, तो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, हमारे तरफ से आपको कॉल आ जाएगा. ठीक है. अमृता जी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था, एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्मवर्क कैन बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय एनी अदर सिस्टम्स.
Yes, that's what we just discussed. Aluminium formwork can be replaced with tunnel formwork. Again, it depends purely on the project type. आपका project कौन से type का है, and which system is best suited for that particular project. अगर tunnel form suited है तो we can go with tunnel form. Again, there are a lot of other parameters. Crane available है, site पे नहीं है. So yes, there are types in monolithic formwork में aluminium है, tunnel है, fiber का भी आता है. that we'll study in the, definitely we'll go in each and every detail in our Formwork course.
ओके सर, फिर हम रुक जाते हैं.
Yes.
थैंक यू एवरीवन अपना टाइम देने के लिए, और ये नए सिस्टम को आप अपनाना चाहते हैं, और इतने अच्छी तरह से आप सभी लोगों ने पार्टिसिपेंट किया था, इसके लिए सभी का मैं धन्यवाद, थैंक यू कहता हूँ. सारांश सर का भी थैंक यू कहता हूँ अब, और हम यहाँ पे भी रुक जाते हैं. ठीक है,
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच.
पेमेंट का लिंक और बुकिंग का लिंक सभी आपको ग्रुप में मिल जाएगा, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में. तो आज शाम तक ही 50% ऑफ का ऑफर रखा हुआ है, तो आप उसका बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं. ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू.
Okay, thank you. Bye everyone. Thank you for your time. Happy learning and keep learning.